Hey everyone, welcome back to Wednesday. Today we're going to be dividing by one-digit numbers, and we're going to have two-digit quotients. Remember, the quotient is the answer. So look, steps today are involved. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 5 is 40. 6 times 9, 54. 10 times 7 is 70. 5 times 0 is 0. Okay, so this is just a review from yesterday. So we go 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's the first step. Now we multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Third step is to subtract. And we get 0, so we can stop. All right, so now we have 35 divided by 5. All right, the first digit 3 has a smaller number than the divisor, so we're not going to divide it into 3. We're going to divide it into 35. So if it helps you, you can put an X right there. All right, now I'm going to divide into 35. I know 5 times 7 is 35. All right, so 7 times 5 is 35. And then I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to get 0. And I can stop. All right, same with this one. This first digit is smaller than the divisor, so I can put an X there. I know 3 times 6 is 18. So I multiply and then subtract to get 0. All right, 4 into 24. All right, so the first digit is smaller than 4, so I can't divide that one. I'm going to divide it to 24. All right, 24 divided by 4 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. And then I subtract and I get 0. Okay, so the next thing we're going to learn is about, here's the word problem. We're going to work this out on the next slide. Charlotte and her mom made and decorated 84 cookies. If she divides the cookies into 4 equal boxes to give to her aunts, how many cookies will be in each box? All right, so this is our problem, 84 divided by 4. Okay, so this is the tens column here where the 8 is. So that's where we're going to start. Look, notice that this number in the tens place, it stands for 80, right? Not just 8. Okay, so we're going to divide into this one because this number is larger than the divisor. So we can divide into 8. 8 divided by 4, that's going to be 2. So you write the number right above there in the tens column. All right? So when we multiply this time, you're multiplying by tens. So 20, so this 2 in the tens column here stands for 20. So it's really like you're saying 20 times 4, and that will be equal to 80. But we can just say 2 times 4 is 8. And then just put that 0 here, okay? Then bring the 4 down, subtract that 4, and then leave that one blank. All right, so now we have a new problem. Now it is 4 divided by 4. All right, we go to the second digit here, the ones column, and we say 4 divided by 4, that is going to be 1. Our next step is to multiply. 1 times 4, that's 4. And then you subtract and you get 0, so we're finished. So when I was taught this, when I was in 3rd grade, I wasn't taught to put the 0 there. I understand why you put the 0 there because you're multiplying by the tens, but this is how we did it. So we just did 4 times 2 is 8, and then I would just subtract. I get 0, and then I would bring down the 4. This is just a different way to do it. All right, now you do 4 divided by 4, and that equals 1. 1 times 4 is 4. And then you get 0. All right, so putting that 0 there is just to show that it's in the tens column, and it's just an easy way to subtract. So remember the steps: divide, multiply, and subtract. All right, so they're going through the steps now. Same thing. All right, so let's do this one. 6 divided by 2, that's going to be 3. All right, our next step is to multiply. 2 times 3, that's 6. Okay, and then you put the 0 right here because it's really like you're saying 30 times 2 would be 60. So always just remember, do 3 times 2, put the 6, and then add the 0 next. All right, then you can subtract, and you get 8. All right, so now you've got 8 divided by 2. We're going back to this first step, dividing. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So then you're going to subtract and get 0. And same way, this is what I used to do when I was learning it. I just do 3 here. 2 times 3 is 6. Then I would subtract. I get 0, and then I would just bring the 8 down. All right, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, and I get 0. And then I'm finished. So same way, different way to do it. The book wants you to put the 0 here. All right, so they're just demonstrating here 84 divided by 2. So let's go ahead and do the math. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Our next step is to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring the 0 right there in the ones column. Now 84 minus 80, that's going to be 4. So now we move on to the ones column. 4 divided by 2, and that's going to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract those, and you get 0. So over here on the right, where the 10s and the 1s are, you can see that's going to be equal to 84 right there. So what they're going to do is split those up into 2 groups, because we're dividing into 2 groups. So here they go. And you can see each group has 42, which is what our answer was here. Our quotient was 42. So 84 divided by 2 would be 42. I circled those 2.